Buzz's girlfriend. Woof. Let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne, and with me, my partner, my Wet Bandit, my Naldo.
Nice.
How are you, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? What's up, man? You know, Buzz's girlfriend got a bad rap.
She did.
To each their own, beauties in the eye of the beholder. But
what do you know when you're a 7-year-old kid or 9-year-old?
Yeah, what do you know about beauty, Kevin?
Yeah. Get out of here, Kevin.
Whatever. What's up, man?
Buzz was cool. Buzz was way cooler than I realized when I was young and cheered for Kevin.
Buzz was a jerk.
I mean, yeah, but Kevin's not the greatest.
Whatever. The year is 1990, folks. 1990. I was 10. My friend was 9. Do you remember seeing this in the movies? In the movie theater?
I didn't. No. I don't think I got to see this one in theaters, but it was, shortly. I guess it was probably not shortly after, the next year, maybe, when it was out on video.
Okay, I remember seeing this in theaters. I remember begging my mom to take me, and I remember watching it in theater. And I just remember this movie was so popular. It almost reminded me of Titanic. I don't know if it was sold out like Titanic, but it was so popular. This was 3 years before Jurassic Park, but I just remember every kid talking about this movie in the 90s. I have good memories of this. Rated PG. The runtime is 1 hour and 44 minutes. Director is Chris Columbus, and the composer is one of our favorites, Mr. Frickin' the legend John Williams.
And if you recognize the house right behind Naldo, that is because the fabulous Mr. John Hughes, who we love and appreciate here at FYC, was the writer of this film.
That's right. Good call. Good call out.
So yeah, good thing that you pointed out how popular it was. I think it was in the top 3 highest grossing movies of that year. Yeah. So I mean, it played and played and played, and for many reasons. I mean, it's a damn good movie. It's a lot of fun. It's the perfect blend of comedy / action / holiday / family film. I mean, it kind of hits all the notes.
Yeah, it holds up still. It still holds up. I mean, again, back in 1990, I didn't know about box office hits and grossing and all that. I just remember it was super popular, and it has stood the test of time. People still watch this movie religiously. It's a huge staple in our house. We watch this movie every year, and number 2 as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't have the affection for number 2 that I do this one. It's still good.
Okay.
However, there's something about the kid being in his home turf and the novelty of the first go around, that obviously this was popular enough to make a second one, but the first one I always watch every year. I'm the same. Like it always gets put on the house. The second one, not so much. It's been a long time since I've seen the second one.
That's funny because I think the second one is actually much funnier than this, but I think this is the better movie.
Okay.
I mean, I die of laughter in the second one, but this one is the better movie. Just my take on that. Yeah. So, I've watched this movie so many times, and a couple of things I've noticed this time around: everybody's a jerk to each other. Everybody's just mean. Yeah. It's not just Kevin, but the whole family they're just jerks to each other. So I don't blame Kevin for having the attitude he has. Sorry.
Yeah. It's really over the top. It goes away so fast when you watch it that you don't really notice it, but like when you are expecting it, now that you've seen it and you're watching it for the first 15 minutes, you're like, damn, like these people, this is very exaggerated of how families act when around the holidays. Like usually people are kind of closed mouth until their family leaves, and then they're grumpy about it, but they're just in their face to each other. It doesn't matter. Brothers, sisters, moms, dads, kids, to their siblings. It's pretty savage.
Yeah. There's a scene where Kevin calls his mom a dummy, right? And to this day, it still shocks me, especially now that I have kids. I'm sorry, but if my kid ever called me a dummy and meant it, oh my gosh, my roundhouse kicks would be flying all over.
They'd be hung up just like that.
Yeah. And I think Catherine O'Hara, right?
Yes.
I think she's great. She is so memorable in this. I know she's been in a lot of the movies. She's in Beetlejuice, but to me, every time somebody mentions Catherine O'Hara, I think of the mom from Home Alone all the time, hands down.
I challenge anybody who has said the name Kevin to not picture her saying it with that face.
Yeah,
it's synonymous with that. She's amazing. I appreciate her so much more now. Like she always played the mom or, these quirky characters growing up. And now like I see her and I just love everything about her.
Yeah. There's a couple things I noticed this time around as well, just new stuff. Mitch Murphy. I'm going to want everybody to remember Mitch Murphy. Mitch Murphy was the neighbor kid who came over and got in the van, and when that one girl was miscounting, that little boy was named Mitch Murphy. And
Okay.
I think if Mitch Murphy hadn't entered, everything would have been okay. So Mitch Murphy, you're messed up. Screw you, Mitch Murphy. You because of you, all this happened. So
shout out to all the neighbors who get in your business.
yeah. Damn you, Mitch Murphy.
I think this movie, it was a perfect like mix of getting the right cast and the right people on it. It's just, it's such a good melting pot of character actors, but I love Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Like without those two guys, like it's at the point now where you just can't picture other people to play the Wet Bandits. Right. Like who would be as good as these guys are? They're both physically, gifted actors in falling for all these traps that he sets, and at the same time are actually really good actors and can carry the scenes without Kevin in it, without all the hijinks happening. That, I mean, it's so good, and I love them so much. I feel for them almost.
This movie has heart. I really think this movie has heart. Amid all the turmoil and all the loudness, there is so much heart in this. And I know it's a comedy, but it gets kind of deep, especially the scene where he goes to church and he meets the old man Marley, who everybody has all these assumptions about. And it's a really sweet moment between this old man and Kevin, and they just have this interaction. It's just so heartfelt. And the other heartfelt moment is between Kevin and his mom towards the end. It's almost like there's this reconciliation that happens. I know it's not supposed to be deep, but it's sweet. And I like that. It has heart, and it totally gets me into the Christmas spirit. So I love that about this movie.
Yeah, the interesting, juxtaposition of like the family all in France and, on this vacation and angry at each other, and yet Kevin at home realizes what's important to him, obviously protecting the house, but then, rekindling with and really showing his love and affection to his mom. And his mom even has that heartfelt moment with the great John Candy, in the ride back, where there is so much of that where you're like, damn, like, okay, amidst all the craziness going on with, the booby traps, you get true like character development, which is odd because it's a PG movie about, robbers at a house. Like,
it's stupid hijinks, but there's so much heart and it's fun to watch. And I mean, all these booby traps that are set for these guys would kill them in an instant, but they don't, because it's a funny movie and it works. So kudos to this movie. I love it. I do.
Worst booby trap that you would never ever want to run into?
I think it would have to be the fire on the scalp. That looked like it would, to the head. Yeah, the blowtorch to the head. That'd been awful.
As awful as that, and I don't want to ever catch on fire, but as awful as that is, I don't think I ever want to take a paint can to the face. Like, no, that's just, it's like, and then insult to injury, he falls off of the staircase, like paint the face, and then you fall, and it just, man, that looked like it hurt. That's the worst for me.
I think I'd rather get hit in the face with the paint can than a blowtorch to my scalp.
Bring it on, man. Next time we're in town together, it's happening.
Let's make it happen. Let's rate it. Want to rate it?
Let's do it. Any booby traps?
Booby traps. Okay. You want to go first?
No, you're up. Your first go around this time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll go first. 1 booby trap, really bad. 5 booby traps, wonderful. Again, this is a staple in my house. I love this movie. I think the second one's funnier, but this movie all around is a much better film. Has the holiday spirit, recommended to anybody. It has stood the test this time. So I'm going to go with a 4. 4 booby traps for me. Love it, love it, love it. We'll always recommend it to people. And my kids love it. My wife loves it. We all love it. It's just one of those classic holiday movies that we watch time and time again.
Perfect recipe for the holiday film, for the family film, for the comedy. I'm going with 4.5 booby traps. It's a near perfect holiday film.
Okay.
There's a reason it did so well. There's a reason that everybody likes it. I haven't met somebody who was like, Home Alone. Everybody loves Home Alone. And it's near perfect. It's John Hughes. It's Chris Columbus. It's actors, in their prime. And a little kid who steals, the show and has so much charisma that to carry a movie like this, it makes it special. And yeah, that's where I'm going to go. 4.5.
All right, 4.5. Booby Traps. Wow, this is high on the FYC rating.
It's very high. I love this film. I will probably watch it multiple times this holiday season, and I'm looking forward to it again.
Sounds
and
good.
I'll even add in Home Alone 2 for you.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to FYC Film Review. I've been your host, Gagne, and with me, my partner, Naldo.
Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and celebrate with your family and friends, and just have a good one.
Thanks for watching.